Hello, this is Judy. Welcome to the Liberated Multitasker. Let's freeze dry some peas.
Now here, I have 4 trays of the Prep for Life Cube Freeze Dryer. Now what I'm going to do is I have all these peas that I have frozen in my freezer. So I'm thawing them out just enough to break them up. These are pink eye purple hull peas from 2022. So one of the things I'm doing with my freeze dryer is trying to clean out my freezer. And so freezer food does not last forever. I've cooked with these. They are still good. I have 2022 and 2023 peas in my freezer. So I decided not to plant any this year. And I'm going to freeze dry them. Now I'm putting 2 bags, which is about 4 cups. Normally I have about 2 cups per bag. And so I'm putting about 4 cups of peas per tray. Now I'm going to have to break these up. So it may take a minute for me to get them ready. Then I will stick them back in the freezer so they can freeze back up before I put them in the freeze dryer. You want them as uniform and as even as possible, so it's better if these frozen chunks are broken up as much as you can. One of the main reasons I wanted a freeze dryer is so that I could preserve my food, our food that we grew in the garden, for longer. Sometimes I grow and preserve more than we can go through in 2 or 3 years. I love to grow food, but I don't want all that effort and work to go to waste. I just finished a batch of peas, and it took a total of 34 hours to freeze dry, and they looked great. Now that we have our 4 trays full of mostly frozen peas, 2 bags per tray, which is about 4 cups per tray, I'm going to put these lids on. They snap right on. And they even have these little edges, so they stack really well. And then I'll just put them in the freezer. Let them freeze right back up, and then put them in the freeze dryer. These are the kind of projects I'm trying to do before harvest to make room in my freezer and still not waste the food that I've already grown and preserved. So just one of the many ways I'm using the Cube Freeze Dryer. So I'll bring you along when I go to put this in the freeze dryer, and I'll show you what it looks like after. Now I've already started it and listed frozen. It's come down to 27 degrees temperature and it's ready to insert the food. So I have the peas, and what I'm going to do is weigh them, get a wet weight before I enter them into the freeze dryer. So I'm going to go ahead and close this. And then I'm going to hit food is inserted. Now I'm going to hit start. Now I like to weigh my trays before I put them in the freeze dryer. I weigh them when it says check food, and then I run an extra 2 hours and weigh them again. If the weight does not change, I know the cube has pulled out all the moisture it's going to. If it has changed, I'll run it for an additional 2 hours. This is just a different way for me to check to make sure all the moisture that the cube is going to pull out has pulled out, and it's good to bag up.
And do you see that ice build up? That's from all the moisture it's removed and have frozen to the sides. So I'm going to close the door and do a defrost. The defrost normally takes about 2 hours.
So now I brought all 4 trays in, and it's time for me to package them up. I can fit 2 trays in this one. Then I'm going to fit 1 tray each in these. I've already put my label on my bag. This is a half-gallon bag. I got these from Amazon. I have to be careful so I don't spill them all over the floor, but let me show you what this looks like. They still have their form. They're just really light, really dry. The great thing about these bags is they stand up. My smaller bags, the ones that I have right now, do not. Now I'm going to flip it around. I'm trying to keep them from falling on the floor like some of them just did. Let me show you. See, it's only this full. So I can definitely get 1 more tray in there and still have room to zip it up. But now what I've decided to do, since I've done this once already, these bags don't stand up. So what I'm going to do is put it in here from the tray and then pour this bag in this one. That is much easier than last time. I'm just going to zip it up for now, but I will be adding the oxygen absorber and sealing it. I'm sure there may be an easier way to do this. This is only the 2nd time I've done peas. And I have to be really careful that they make it into the bag and not onto the floor. All right, I think that works great. I like to get as much of the air out as I can when I zip it up. Now for the last 2 trays. And that's 2 full trays, about 8 cups of pink eye purple whole peas. These are 500 cc's, so I'm going to need 3. I'm going to go ahead and put this lid back on and seal it so we don't lose any of the other. So those are good. We're still pink, still good to go. Let me go ahead and zip these up. So now I have these 3 bags, and now I need to seal them. Here's my sealer. I can adjust the heat setting. This bigger bag, thicker bag, takes more heat, so I'll do it first and then I'll cut it down and do the smaller ones. And lots of times I will seal it twice just to be extra careful. Now there's a reason I do put some things in jars, but sometimes my vacuum seal will pop, the lid won't hold tight. And so I just don't want to lose anything. So even if it's not long-term storage, I put it in these bags because I feel it's safer. I can zip it, I seal it twice, it has the oxygen absorber in it. If I put things like my kale powder or freeze-dried eggs, sometimes this will pop loose. That's why I put this lid on. I used it the other day and it was not sealed good. So I resealed it and put my lid on it just to hold it down. So let's get this one sealed. This once. Let me see if you can see that. So here's the zipper, and then this little line here is my other seal. That did really good. So let's do these two. I cut this one down because these bags are not as thick as the silver one. And one more to go. So here we have 16 cups of peas freeze dried from 2022 that probably would not have been good in another year in the freezer. And now they're still preserved, ready to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I hope to see you soon.